Tower Fantasy 5.0 has been launched. How was your space journey? I'm sure it must be full of various questions, right? Who is Grandma Lola? What's the relationship between the pirate group and Enka on Wednesday? Who is the boss behind Odin's Tavern? Why can't the identity of the protagonist from planet Ida be revealed? Don't rush for now. Xiaofeng will help you clarify the relationship between this and others. Let's first focus on a suicide note. For the convenience of everyone to watch, Xiaofeng has already extracted the copy. The signature of the posthumous note is Lola Hans. She is the fan of 5.0. Heroic's Grandma Lola. Because the name is similar to Nola. Many people associate the two. But unfortunately, Lola has nothing to do with Nora. As early as in the previous plot, I have already explained it very clearly. Enka and Nora died in the laboratory explosion. That's also why the protagonist changed his fate against heaven. The reason for saving them in the Jest Host sector. But that doesn't mean Lola has nothing to do with Wednesday. Let's take a look here. Let's continue reading below. The suicide note can be simply divided into two parts. The front is Lola's brief description of her life. Later, she left her husband to Linsis. So what's your relationship with Karoit? I'm her mother. Lola's life is divided into 4 sections. The first paragraph records one's own background. Her real name is Lola O'Reilly. Born in Spring Bay, Kalo Island. My hometown is rich in fresh flowers. My family also makes a living from this. The possibility that Lola and Nora are related is eliminated here. If you pay more careful attention to her birth time, we'll find the cataclysm in 2664. She's only 13 years old. This can't be the eldest sister you know in Jest Host sector. Next is the second paragraph. She briefly explains the reason why she entered space. The entry of the Kalo people into space is both a conspiracy and an accident. When people in other regions are still living their lives in a routine manner, Kalo is secretly building the Ark of Doom. Because they know that using Omnium energy can cause problems. Because they know that planet Ida is going to be a disaster. Like movies with apocalyptic themes. As the end approaches, the powerful and capitalists are all preparing to flee. And Lola just ran away from home. Led by tourists to the Kalo space station. For the sudden appearance of Lola, she broke the secret of the Doomsday Ark. It's impossible to let go. But it's also impossible to extinguish her conscience and silence her. So I chose to put her in a hibernation chamber. In the worldview of Tower Fantasy, the hibernation pod is not the first time it has appeared. Back when humans migrated from Earth to planet Ida. It's using a hibernation pod for space travel. Even if it has lasted for over 200 years. The person who wakes up can also have the same appearance as before. Fortunately, Lola didn't sleep that long. This is the third paragraph of the suicide note. When Lola wakes up again, cataclysm has happened to planet Ida. The Kalo space station also escaped smoothly. But the accident still happened. The Kalo space station underestimated the severity of the disaster. At first, they just wanted to stay in space, waiting for the end of the disaster. I never expected it. The disaster still affects them in the universe. The Kalo space station is lost in some time and space. In this chaotic situation, the first thing that people think of is to rely on the hibernation chamber to survive. But the hibernation chamber is limited. So competition has become the norm. Lola was also awakened at this time. If the sleep time is removed. At this point, she was only 12 years old. To survive on one's own is like a pipe dream. Fortunately, she met a benefactor. Krog Hans. He used to be a senior officer in the Norn Federation. Kroger falsely claimed that she was his illegitimate daughter. This gave her shelter. Lola changed her surname to Hans. This kind of chaos didn't last long. In 2670, Anchor Infinity proposed the Grand Navigation Plan. The Kalo people began to divide into 2 camps. One side is home delivery. Sponsored by Apex. Icarus Legion. Kroger is the founder. Its name comes from the tired bird Jerway, who came back with a farewell message. The meaning is that tired birds know how to fly back to their nests. Metaphor for returning home from a place of residence. You can also tell from the name. They are eager to return to planet Ida. The other side is the exploratory faction. They still keep the idea of escaping from Ida. I want to find a new habitable planet. Start a new life. Its representative is the Hope Fleet. Unfortunately, since 2674, after discovery of Kalo or Zero, both sides will have no further achievements. During Kroger's tenure as the leader of the Icarus Legion, Lola became a teacher. Lincus's parents are her students. After Kroger's death, Lola resigned as a teacher, became the new leader of the Icarus Legion. But the good times didn't last long. Anchor Infinity has suddenly risen. It is necessary to mention the new coins of Kalo. Credit point. In order to end the struggle for survival resources, Anchor Infinity launched a credit point system. This move broke the balance between On-All and Apex. This brings us to the 4th paragraph of the suicide note. The rise of Anchor Infinity. Apex falls in the middle. With the rising voice of Anchor Infinity, the balance between the Homecoming faction and the Exploration faction has also been disrupted. Kalo began to take the exploratory school as a leading ideology. The Homecoming faction was branded with the pirate group's mark. At this point, the Icarus Legion became history. Instead, various space pirate groups have taken their place. Lola became the new pirate leader. Also at this time, on Wednesday, the pirate group was born. According to the information description, Wednesday's name comes from a mysterious benefactor. Her only condition is that the pirate group must be called this name. Little did they know that this name had also become a disaster in the future. The first half of this suicide note has already been interpreted. I'm sure you have a question. Where has Hypros gone? For this, Xiaofeng really dug everywhere. It was finally found that Hypros of Kalo was a real weak chicken. It has become the Hypros Research Institute under the Anchor Infinity. It seems that not all Hypros in every time and space succeeded in usurping the throne. The following is the second half of the suicide note, divided into 6 items in total. The first one reveals Karoit's real name. It's called Rosetta Hans. And she's also a little rich woman. There are 3,635,300 yuan in the account. This is not more fragrant than the 17 Mira ruby. But it's about to disappear. Because a new pirate group has been established. The spaceship is about to be repaired. This can also be considered as an official setup, right? By the way, Karoit's birthday is 0310. Grandma Lola's birthday is 0828. So we can also be considered as people who know the password. It is known that Linsis opened a shop with a loan of 800,000 yuan. It can be seen that over 3 million is not a small amount. Is it too late to rob Kuroit? The second safe route. When you reach the boundary during exploration, it will show lost. This is the turbulence of time and space. It is precisely because the time and space of Halo are filled with turbulence of time and space. So exploration has become difficult. Lola entrusted all the safe routes she knew to Linsis. This can also be found from the information in the warehouse. The password is also 03100828. The third point mentioned the leader of the Black Moon Pirates. Back in the days of leading TV, we have dealt with the Black Moon before. That arrest operation was specifically aimed at capturing the Black Moon. Information on actions can also be found in the airport area. Helen, the head of the Black Moon Pirates, was captured. To Brighton Zone. This is also one of the reasons why we are going to Brighton. Although Helen is a pirate, but her heart is on Ida. In Linkis's Antiques record, she once bought a toy car from Aida's time. From the current groundwork, it appears that she is likely to be the future up character as well. But unfortunately, after she was arrested, the men are calculating Linkis's treasure. The little brothers are considered abandoned. The fourth is to persuade Linsis and Hipper. The two just have different viewpoints. But there is no distinction between right and wrong. It can be seen that Lola still trusts her disciples. Hipper is not our enemy. Article 5 vaguely points out the differences of Anchor Infinity. Soon annexed Apex. Obtained the highest governing power. And support Hope Fleet to become a fighter. Suppressing Homecoming as pirates. There are black hands behind all of this. In fact, from the perspective of God, we know the black hand. That's the servant of Kalo. Article 6 Toru Kuroit. This leads to a mystery. That's the identity of Kuroit. What on earth did Kuroit's parents do? Why did you leave? From the information in the airport area, it can be seen that Kuroit is responsible for the eradication of pirates. What shocking secrets does her background hide? We can only wait for the follow-up. The only thing Lola left behind was, can't give Kuroit to Rafa. But we need to investigate Kuroit's secret. You have to go to Brighton Zone where Rafa is. This is also the most crucial segment of Halo Time and Space. Lastly, there is a crucial point. The date of the suicide note is March 2713. And the current time in the game is 2714. That means Lola had already figured everything out in advance. For example, the Anchor Infinity conspired to eliminate pirates. It can be seen that there are spies inside on Halt. Based on current information speculation, the messenger will probably be Hipper. This may be the reason why Lola left her suicide note. A suicide note connects most of the clues. But the questions about Kalo have not been completely solved. Who opened Odin's Tavern? Where is the Todd family of Grey Fox hiding? What is the truth of Or Zero? How does the name of Wednesday run through 2 time periods? Let's continue with the interpretation in the next issue. Follow Xiaoping. Take you to experience a different tower.